Anthony Slater-Berry, News Group. Did you know you had it going at some point in the third, or was there a moment where it was like, okay, this is kind of the time to take this over?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I can make every shot I shoot because I shoot good ones and I try to get to my spot. So when they call my number, I just try to go out there and be aggressive.
Kevin, Kirk Bowles from the Austin American. Do you feel like you're back in the form that you had during the regular season before you got hurt?
Yeah.
Completely?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chris Haynes, ESPN. Pop announced this morning that Kawhi wasn't going to play tonight. Did you believe him, or how serious were you think that it was that he wouldn't be out?
In those situations, I feel like you can never believe what Pop says. He always feels like he always mentally he's always a step ahead of everybody. So I didn't believe it until the ball tipped up, I guess, or I guess 90 minutes is when you're supposed to put the whoever inactive list, whatever that is. But yeah, I thought he was going to come out and play, but they had who they had on the floor. They play extremely hard no matter what. They run their sets. They keep it going, no matter what. And they obviously they need him to score and defend and do all the things that he does, but they still play extremely hard. They didn't show any signs of giving up at all.
It's Monty Poole, NBC Sports Bay Area. Kevin, it looked like you and David had some good chemistry as usual out there in that third quarter there. A few times you got him in the pick and roll. You got some backdoor layups and so forth. What was that chemistry like, and just what was that little stretch there like? I think you had like 17 points in a row or something crazy like that.
Yeah, I did.
Something like that. I think it was 17 if I counted right.
Yeah, I mean, D. West is a great passer, especially when you got the ball in the pick and roll. You make that pocket pass, the defense relaxes just a little bit. So he usually wants us to cut back doors, so I got a couple of those. And you get off the ball, just keep moving on the backside. I got a 3 in the corner. So it felt good to see the ball go through the rim. It felt good to handle it a little bit more. But, you got to give the Spurs credit. They play as tough. Defensively, they switch a lot. They're physical. They're aggressive. And they came out tonight with an edge. And I think we did a good job of just taking the punch and keep playing and keep going throughout the whole game. And guys stepped up for us.
Kevin, Steve Hable from the Sports Exchange over here. I was going to ask that question. It seems like they were really up early on, and you guys kind of endured their little run. Yeah. In the third quarter, they got it to 4, and then y'all just kind of put it away. Would you see any tiredness in them or anything?
Yeah, I mean, they don't have their best scorer, so they rely on him. They run everything through him throughout the whole season. So taking him away, it's kind of hard to find your identity after that. But then you got LaMarcus, who still can go out there and score whenever he wants in the post, and Powell, and then Mano's playing like he's 20 years old. So they got one of the best coaches to ever coach any sport. So it feels like they can always stay in the game and always put up a fight and win. You've seen that in the last series as well with this group. So we knew that, especially at home, Game 3, a lot of energy in the building. They were going to come out and hit us in the mouth, and I think we did a good job of, taking that punch and just keep playing.
Kevin, Ramona Shelburne, ESPN. So outside of Game 1, the games in this series haven't been all that close. In the other series, it's 2-0, but that was the most lopsided victory in playoff history. What do you make of these playoffs and sort of this is the conference finals and they haven't been all that competitive? Obviously, there's injuries affecting these things, but just sort of what do you guys as competitors make of that getting to this stage?
So you're saying it's not been fun watching as a fan?
Well, I don't know. You watched the game last night, or you can only talk about this. I'm sure it's fun to play. But.
Yeah, if I was on the team that's up 40 points, I wouldn't. You got to give them credit for being up 40 points, and they went out there and dominated. So that's what you want to do every time you step on the court. So I'm sure they're excited about it. But the fans, they always want to see a tight game. They want to see a buzzer beater every game. But it's not like that sometimes. And every year has been. You have your years where you have great playoff series, 4 or 5 Game 7s, and then some years you have what you see this playoffs. But as players, we want to go out there and win as by as much as possible, and play as great as you can. You know, whatever happens, with the score, it happens. So relay that to the fans who feel upset. If you don't like it, don't watch it.
Talk about the impact you got from JaVale in the first quarter, the energy he came out with early in the game.
He played great for us, finishing a lot. They're not coming off the three-point line as far as, helping off of Clay, myself, Steph. So Draymond does a great job of finding him in the paint, him finishing over top of the rim. He runs extremely hard from end to end from the defense, transition from defense to offense. And, he did a great job, I think, on LaMarcus and guarding him and making him shoot tough shots. He's a great player, but he made him shoot over his length. And, he came out and played great, man. He wants it. He works extremely hard. And, he came up with 13 minutes, 16 points. We'll take that from him any night.
Kevin, when you're playing, you're also reading the game and the rhythm of the game. And it looks like, watching over the course of the season, when the offense clogs up, slows down, like your mentality changes a little bit. Am I onto something there, or do you change a little bit when you see the offense in that little struggle spot like that?
I just play, man. I just play. If I see a lane open, sometimes I think too much. Sometimes I look to pass when I should look to score. Sometimes I look to score when I should pass. But I've figured out if I just don't think at all, it's where I'm best. And, so I don't really know. Different games. Some games are different. Some situations are different. I may need to score 17 in a row, or I may not. I may need to be a screener or a decoy, So I try not to think out there. The times when I do think early in the game, I was bad on the defensive end because I was thinking too much. And third quarter, I just went out there and played. Just, not worried about anything. Just played every possession and try to play as hard as I can. And, I was able to score because it started with my defense first. So I try to think about offense. Whatever happens, whatever coach calls, I just try to go out there and run it as hard as I can.